Good morning or good afternoon, everybody. My name is Claudio Santarelli, and at Siemens Digital Industry Software, I am part of the academic team. And I am responsible for our academic customers, such as universities, research center, or competition team for the German region. Today, I am going to provide you some information about the Siemens academic program, and especially for competition team worldwide that are interested in our solution and working with us. Let me start this presentation by mentioning that the Siemens mission is to be a trustworthy and reliable partner for the digital transformation, both for industries and for academia. And when we talk about the digital transformation, we should definitely mention also the concept of digital twin. You may consider a digital twin as an ensemble of all digital and virtual data and information that are collecting during and at the end of the development process. So basically, all three-dimensional design information, manufacturing processes, simulation results, all this digital information belongs to the digital twin. And the more discipline we are able to connect within the digital twin, the more trustworthy is the digital twin itself. And we can divide the portfolio of digital solution by Siemens Digital Industry Software into three main parts. In the first part, we have the so-called design tool, which is basically our main solution, Siemens NX. It's a tool where you can create your three-dimensional representation of your object. The second part of the portfolio might be defined as the simulation part, which we called SimCenter. We will have briefly a deeper look at that in the following slide. But let me mention that the third part of the portfolio is the so-called collaboration. So I would say a PLM software, a product lifecycle management software. Our main solution is called Teamcenter. And with Teamcenter, you are able to collaborate among the team and speed up the development process of your product. As I mentioned before, I would like to provide a deeper look at the SimCenter portfolio, because I guess that competition team worldwide are extremely interested in our simulation solution. So within the SimCenter portfolio, we have a different kind of solution, such as computational fluid dynamic solution for fluid and thermal analysis. We have mechanical solution, electromagnetic, for example, for teams that are interested in developing their own electrical motor. But we have also solution for system modeling as well as for the autonomous drive. Let me just briefly introduce you the concept of the Siemens academic program. So first of all, as I mentioned before, we would like to be the partner for the digital transformation in the academic environment. We provide industry state-of-the-art software solution for all of our academic customers under the motto real world ready. It means you in an academic field or competition team, you get exactly the same software as we provide to our industrial partner, so that the engineers of tomorrow can already be trained with the state-of-the-art software. We also organize workshops and provide trainings, and we participate also in competition events. For example, we are one of the main sponsors at Formula Student Germany in Hockenheim. This webinar is organized as follows. At first, I will provide some examples, some use case from competition team in the German region. so that you can have a look of how teams can employ our software or our solution. Then I will talk about the Siemens Accelerator Academy, which is the official Siemens learning page. And then I will talk about the grant application form, which is the official way for you to get in touch with us. The first example I'd like to present is from a German Formula student team from the university in Aachen. The team is called EcoReacts. And together with EcoReacts, a couple of years ago, we were able to develop a multidisciplinary approach for the investigation and optimization of the battery thermal management. We were able to combine experimental data, where we characterize the single cell, with system simulation, where we have basically represented the functional behavior of the whole battery pack. And we have enhanced this analysis by computational fluid dynamics. So with three-dimensional simulation, where we were able to have a look at the temperature distribution, for example, within the battery pack. And we have been applying this method for the endurance race, which is a 22-kilometer race that takes part during a Formula Student competition. And with this approach, the team was able to optimize the cooling performance so that the endurance race could be performed at their best possibilities. The following example comes also from a German university. You might have heard about the Hyperloop competition that was introduced in, I guess, California a couple of years ago. Well, this student competition was won 4 years in a row by the Technical University Munich team called TUM Hyperloop. And after winning the competition, they decided to go further and to create a real-world Hyperloop system. So basically, they have been using our software, Siemens NX, to create as well as the interior of the pod and also the exterior, so basically the test track. In this part of the work, they focused on the safety of the passengers, because you can imagine Hyperloop is not a canonical transportation, so the safety of the passenger needed to be deeply investigated. And they have been doing that by combining two solutions of the Siemens portfolio, Siemens NX, so where they have created the three-dimensional representation, as you can see in the slide right on top, and then they have enhanced their analysis with SimCenter Madimo. SimCenter Madimo is a software where you can assess the safety of the passengers during different transportation maneuvers, and they were able to use the simulation results to get a certification from the German authority about the safety of the passage. So it was a very important step for them. And for us, it was extremely interesting to see how really the pod, the interior looks like. You can see this in the picture. So where we were really trying to combine the real and the digital world. The next example is also from a German competition team, a Formula student team. It's called Starkstrom, and they belong to the University of Applied Science in Augsburg. So basically, they were able to integrate one of our software, SimCenter PreScan, in the framework where they were using to develop their autonomous drive algorithm. So autonomous drive algorithm, exactly. So basically, some of you may already be aware of this ROS environment. ROS stands for Robotic Operating System. It's basically a virtual environment that can be used for different applications. And one of the main applications is the test of autonomous drive algorithm. What the team what Starkstrom did, was to combine their ROSE environment with our SimCenter Prescan. SimCenter Prescan, as I can show you in the following slide, it's basically a tool where you can create your own three-dimensional environment, considering vehicle model, street, pedestrian, weather condition, bicycle, and furthermore. And by creating this three-dimensional environment, you are able to test your autonomous drive algorithm without spending so many hours on the test track. So basically, you can replace test track by this numerical simulation. And this is exactly what the team did and could perform excellently at the Formula Student Germany event. They went for the first place for the driverless competition. The next example is from the Technical University in Berlin, from a different industry, so from the medical industry. The team is called RISE, and they are involved in the development of a human exoskeleton. So an exoskeleton is a device which is supposed to help people with, I would say, mobility issues, and should help this person like for standing up or for walking or for sitting down, as you can see in this picture. And they also used Siemens NX, not only to create the three-dimensional representation, as you can see, but also to investigate the motion and the kinematics. You see here there are many parts that needs to connect optimally with each other and also to connect with the human body. And they were able to test the movement of this exoskeleton also by using Siemens NX. And you see here also a real life, I would say, picture of how this exoskeleton can work in real life. This picture has been taken in one of the events where they took part. The last example for today's session comes also from a Formula student team from the German region. The team is called Blue Flash, and they are associated with a university in Göttingen. And they were able to combine two of our software to speed up their development process. So basically, they would combine Siemens NX as a CAD software with Teamcenter as their backbone. So basically, combining these two software, NX for the CAD and Teamcenter as I would say, a smart repository, they were able to speed up their process and to increase the collaboration. So Teamcenter works in the background, and when NX is used by any of the team members, they can really instantly connect to Teamcenter and obtain information about their development process. You can see, for example, in the following slide, in this slide, you can see on the right part, they have created a number of libraries for, I would say, common objects such as a screw and bearings. And every team member is able at the same time to connect to these libraries and to basically import without any issue one of the standard object into their CAD. So it's a way of speeding up collaboration, not only among team members, but also among different team generation. And Blue Flash was also able to go a step further, and they have enhanced their automatic process also with manufacturing information. You can see here, when they create a part that it's going to be manufactured, they already, in the framework of their process, they already provide manufacturing information so that in the process, they have the whole process chain from the idea, the concept, the realization up to manufacturing. So after providing you some use case or some example, let me just mention the last two point of this talk. First of all, I'd like to mention the so-called Siemens Accelerator Academy. Siemens Accelerator Academy is the official learning platform of Siemens. There is a part within this learning platform which is dedicated to academic customers. And every academic customer can register within a few minutes for Accelerator Academy, and they can obtain software training for free. So either if you are an educator, a student, or part or a member of a competition team, as long as you have an official university email address, you can sign up for Siemens Accelerator Academy, and within a couple of minutes, you will have access to all Siemens software for free. And these are exactly the software that the teams I've been mentioning before used to learn the different Siemens solutions. You might want to scan this QR code because this would lead you exactly to the web page where you can sign in. The web page looks like this. So you just click on verify academic status. The verification process starts, and within 2 minutes, you are good to go. The trainings looks like this. I have made an example here for SimCenter Stars SM+, but we have, I would say, more than hundreds different software trainings. So it's definitely worth to have a look at that. We have training, mostly trainings are in English, but you can also find trainings, for example, in Chinese, in Korean, in German, and so on. But that depends on the software. And if you are now convinced about one of our Siemens solution, then this might be the most important part of the webinar, because this is where I tell you how to get in touch with us. And this is extremely simple. We have set up a web page, which we call the grant application form. You can also scan this QR code. And basically, if you fill out this form with the information we would like to hear from you, to get from you, then you will be contacted by one of our Siemens representatives. The information you can provide are, for example, the name of the team, the country, which competition do you take or do you plan to take part, or which kind of software or discipline are you interested in. And if you provide this information through the grant application form, then we will come back to you to see if we can provide our solution. And this holds for all of the team worldwide. So I've been talking about German because this is the country where I live and I work, but all information I have provided, they holds and apply for all competition team worldwide, all competition team from any discipline. So just get in touch with us. We would be glad to help you. So this is the end. This is the end of my presentation. I hope it was worth for you attending this webinar. And as I said before, we're looking forward to get in touch with you. And I wish you personally all the best of luck for your activities. So bye-bye and stay in touch.